Hey, I'm here with Rowley from Wahoo, and we're going to be having a look at why you want to use a turbo trainer all year round. So what are the reasons why you might want to use a turbo trainer all year round?
So we find that a lot of people use trainers just through the winter as an alternative to going outdoors when the weather's rubbish and they can't find their overshoes, or it just looks too bad to get outside for a ride. But what we're seeing more and more is people using the trainers to support their outdoor riding through the summer. So if you work long hours, or if you have small children, or whatever reason life throws at you to not get out for a ride during the week, instead of having to go through the rigmarole of getting changed and getting out for a full ride, you can jump on the trainer for 30 minutes to an hour and get a really, really good workout. We're building out that ecosystem now, so there's the Headwind Smart Fan and the Kicker Climb Gradient Simulator. So when you are riding indoors, that makes the whole thing just much more immersive and kind of all-encompassing. But we also do a really good range of GPS bike computers, and the whole system works together really nicely. So if you have a favourite ride that you like to do outdoors that you have saved on your Element head unit, and you want to go out riding but the weather sucks, you can't get out, so you can take your Element head unit, pair it up to one of the trainers, and you can ride that route indoors, and the trainer will simulate the different gradients based on the course that you have saved in the head unit.
So it's a very time efficient way of training.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it really gives you your life back. If you only have an hour to train in the morning or in the evening, you can get changed really quickly, hop on the trainer, do an hour's worth of really focused training, get off and get on with your day.
That sounds great. Let's take a look at the range, and I'll get my kit on.
Cool.
So this is the Wahoo Kicker Snap. Tell us the main features of this trainer.
So the Snap has a really convenient wheel-on design. So if you have a whole bunch of different bikes that you want to use on Zwift, and you don't want to have to consider different cassettes and different drivetrains, the Snap gets rid of all of that. So you literally snap your back wheel into the trainer, tighten up the resistance at the back, and then you're good to go. It has all the great connectivity that the rest of the kickers do, so it'll connect with anything over Bluetooth or ANT+. So if you want to ride on Zwift or on full gas or on trainer road, it'll work in just the same way as any of our other smart trainers. The flywheel is 4.7 kilos, so it's a really nice heavy duty trainer. And what that feels like when you're riding is when you get to something like a hill in Zwift and it has to kind of dial up the resistance to simulate a gradient, it does it in a really nice smooth way. As well, the max power of this trainer is 1500 watts, so for most people that's kind of okay usually.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be pushing out 1500 watts.
And it can simulate gradients of up to 12%. So for more or less anybody that wants to ride on Zwift but doesn't want to have to worry about taking their rear wheel out, the Snap's a really good option. So we've got a decibel meter here, just to illustrate that it really is a nice quiet trainer. So it's just coming out at just above 60 decibels, which is more or less conversational. So if you're using this in a flat, or if you have noise sensitive neighbours, it's no louder than a bunch of people having a conversation.
So this is the Wahoo Kicker Core. What are the main features of this turbo?
So this is a brand new trainer. It's the latest one to our lineup of smart trainers. As you can see, it's a direct drive trainer, so you have to remove your rear wheel and connect your bike to the trainer itself. The bonus of that is you get a really, really nice positive feedback when you're riding. It's got a super heavyweight construction, nice heavy flywheel. Its max power is 1800 watts, so slightly higher than the Kicker Snap. And because you're connected to the drivetrain, the power accuracy is improved as well. So it's plus or minus 2% on the Kicker Core. It's a slightly more accessible price point than the Kicker, and you still get a whole bunch of the great features that you get on the Kicker. The main thing is it's a slightly lighter weight version, and out of the box, it doesn't ship with a cassette.
So I live in a flat and obviously need to keep my neighbours happy in terms of noise. How noisy is this turbo trainer?
So we worked really hard at the Kicker and at the Core to produce a really nice, almost silent turbo trainer. You'll find that actually when you're pedalling, the majority of the noise is coming from your drivetrain. So decibel test again, it's just coming out at slightly above 50 decibels, which is the same as a quiet conversation.
Yeah. Okay, so say I was training for a big ride in the Alps, how would this help me kind of prepare for that ride?
So all of our smart trainers can simulate resistance of going uphill. So the Kicker Core has a max gradient of plus 16%. So even if you don't live near a mountainous area, when you come to do your indoor training session, you can simulate riding uphill really, really easily. And the next step on from that is the Kicker Climb, which is an indoor gradient simulator. So the way it works is if you have a piece of software that's telling your trainer to simulate a particular gradient, that command gets sent onto the Kicker Climb and it raises and lowers the front of your bike to actually put you at that particular gradient. So the climb can simulate anything from plus 20 to minus 10%. So training for Alpe d'Huez or one of those really big alpine climbs, you can ride that indoors in preparation for it.
Okay, so finally, this is the Wahoo Kicker, and this was the first turbo trainer that you guys released. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, so we launched the first Kicker Smart Trainer all the way back in 2014. It's seen 4 more iterations since then. So this is the 4th iteration, it's the latest one. This is the top of our smart trainer range. So this has by far the heaviest flywheel. It ships with everything you need to get started right in the box. The cassette is pre-installed. And this really is a kind of all singing, all dancing smart trainer. So new for this year is a virtually silent operating system. So when you're pedaling, it makes almost no noise at all. The majority of the noise is coming from your drivetrain. We increased the size of the flywheel, and as a result of that, the feedback you get from the trainer is even better than it already was. The max power is increased to 2,200 watts. And it can simulate gradients of up to 20%. This really is like a serious training tool. So one of the other main differences between the Kicker and the Kicker Core is you can use the Kicker with all different kinds of bikes and all different kinds of wheel sizes. So there's a dial at the bottom there which indicates you can use the bike with 29-inch wheels all the way down to like a 24-inch wheel, so and everything in between. As well as that, the legs fold up. It's got a really nice convenient carry handle, so if you do need to move the trainer around the home, it's really, really good for that as well.
So we've talked about the Kicker Climb, but we also have the Kicker Headwind here as well. How does this kind of further enhance training experience?
So the Kicker Headwind really isn't just a fan, it's a smart fan that's designed for indoor training. It really is the only thing like it on the market. You can use it in a few different ways. So if you want to use it just as a fan, you can set it to level 1, 2, 3 or 4, and at full power the wind's going to be coming out of the headwind at about 30 miles an hour. So it really is like a powerful fan. You can also use it with a heart rate monitor. So if you have any brand of heart rate monitor, you can pair it up to the headwind, and as your effort increases on the bike, the fan speed increases as well to keep you cool. It's a really great addition to the training system, and it's also that kind of next level of immersion. It's
all part of the whole system.
Yeah, exactly.
It all talks to each other, and that's through the Wahoo Element computer range as well as the companion app.
You can either control the headwind through your Element GPS bike computer or through the Wahoo app. And once you're in the app, you can set to control by a slider. So the more I slide this across, the higher the fan speed goes. You can also set it to be controlled by speed or heart rate. So you can really easily switch between whether you want it to be controlled by your hands, or if you want to have it be controlled by your heart rate monitor. It's super easy to adjust that as well.
Yeah, I guess if you're in kind of like a pretty deep, intense training session, you don't want to fiddle about with the fan, so speed or heart rate works perfectly, you know,
exactly.
Hassle-free.
Yeah, the cool thing with heart rate is if you're like me and through the winter you keep the trainer in a room that isn't heated, when you get on first thing you don't want the fan to be blowing because it's really cold, and as soon as you get going you don't want to have to get off to adjust the fan. So as long as you remember to turn it on, it'll come on automatically when you get to a certain BPM, and you can set that through the app as well. So I'm going to heart rate, minimum fan speed is at 115, so it will come on once my heart gets to that level, and it will get up to its max when I get to 170, so when I'm really starting to work hard.
Cool, that's really, really smart. So that is the Wahoo indoor training ecosystem. If you want to find out more about the range, click the link below. You can shop online or visit us in store to find out more.